Hello, my followers. Welcome to another example palm reading. We're going to mainly talk about some travel lines and success lines, but I will also take note of some of the other lines on the hand. So I'll bring you up a picture so we can have a look. I've got the left and right hands of the same person, so that and I've already pre-marked them to save me doing so much drawing. I'll try and get my highlighter up. Don't forget, if you are interested in having your palm readings on the videos, I have membership options on my YouTube channel where you can opt for various levels of membership. And I also do live streams for members only. So take a look at those, click on the join button and you will get more information there. So let's get on. We will look at the left hand here first. You can see where I've dotted along the line that goes around the thumb ball. That's called the lifeline. So I've dotted roughly where we do the timing and the ages of the lines. And so approximately halfway along this lifeline is the age of 40. So where I've marked these blue lines, they represent travel. Some can represent going abroad, especially if they are long and they hit the fate line, which this particular one on the left hand does. The fate line is the red line that I've marked. That can also be called the career line or the Saturn line, and that often represents the career, but it can represent your general life path as well. So in this particular case, we can see that there are several areas on this lifeline where the travel lines come out. And because that one that reaches the career line, it is very likely that the travel is to do with the career. So it may be a business abroad or something like that. On the right hand, there are also similar lines, and some of them, a couple of them do reach the fate lines. That the fate line is the one that starts from the middle of the palm, and in this case it shifts and changes to different areas. And that's what usually happens when people make changes in their career or changes in their life. The fate line then shifts over. So when you have a direct line that's in a straight line, it usually shows not much change in the person's life. So all these little breaks represent changes. So there is approximately the same, sorry, the left and right hands are nearly the same. I've marked the fate line in green on the right hand, but you can see that in both instances there's a break. The red line breaks here, the green line breaks here at the heart line. On the red one on the left hand, it breaks on the headline. I meant to say headline, sorry. So on the headline, it breaks on both hands. And on the heart line shows the emotions. That's up the top. You can see that there is the break there as well on the left and right hand. So that's indicating these changes, approximately the age of 50. And it's coincidental then that these lines here on the right hand of the travel represent around the age of 50 as well. And the other changes that were earlier is approximately the age of 35, which can be around this time here when all these other travel lines are present. So it may represent travel or other change in life. But the main lines that represent success are the ones that rise from the heart line up here towards the ring finger. So we have them also on the left hand here. I just haven't drawn over them, but we have these success lines that rise from the heart line. Now these success lines have started a bit earlier. I'll get a pen, but I haven't marked it, but there are fine lines here also that represent the success. So these are the fine success lines, but then they kind of get stronger after the age of 50. So all of those lines are the success lines. And here, this green and red, these are the success lines. So they just show more stronger after the age of 50, which is represented by the fact that they rise from that heart line. So the other signs of travel are on the sides. If you have these lines on the side of the Mount of Moon, they can represent travel. And sometimes some of them do reach the actual career line, which in this case it does. You can see this here. I'll draw it in green. So that also represents potential travel for career purposes. Now I'll quickly mention about some of these other lines because there's quite a few lines on this palm. So there's lines that come across above the heart line that represent an emotional side to the person. So it's called a girdle of Venus, and that represents somebody who may be somewhat emotional or sensitive, quite sensitive. And then there are the health lines. That health line goes all the way up there, so it's also called the line of Mercury or line of liver, but that one particularly represents a business. So maybe a business-minded person potentially. The health line is all along here in the blue. Health line is sometimes and quite often multiple lines, more than just one line. So all these blue lines are the line of Mercury, or health line, as we say. Many of these lines on this ball of thumb, there's multiple lines that go in many directions. These don't have specific meaning, but they represent mainly some connections with people. They represent the fact that they're different on both palms. They represent some losing some energy loss over potentially the past few years. There may have been some energy loss for some reason, and it could be due to stress. So most of these lines are stress lines. All of these lines that just radiate away from the thumb, they're your standard stress lines. Most people have those, so they're nothing to worry about. And there's a couple of lines from the lifeline that represent some stress at a young age. So they may have had maybe a difficult childhood or some particular event that may have traumatized the child, or some sort of event that caused some stress. Sometimes what that line means, this one here I'm talking about, I'll draw it in red now, is that the child had early responsibility in life. But because it seems to start from such a young age, it's more like some kind of maybe a health trauma, maybe some kind of a mental or emotional trauma at a young age. Some of these stress lines go beyond the lifeline. you can see that they radiate all the way past the headline, and the headline is here. So when they do that, that represents a particular time where there may have been a stress that sort of upset mentally, may have made them angry or something like that, something that strained the mental capacity for temporarily, of course, temporarily. So we can look at the timing based on those two lines that I just drew. So they might be around the age of 30 and potentially around the age of 35. There may be some sort of mental anguish. However, if the person is not reached that age yet, then that could still change. All of these lines can come and go because they're so fine. It's not likely that the deep lines will change quickly over time. They can change over many years, but the finer lines can definitely change over time. So I hope that you've enjoyed this quick palmistry lesson, and I look forward to doing more of these. Don't forget to click subscribe or join to my channel. I look forward to doing my next video. Bye.